Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring the entire Nelson family, Ozzie, Harriet, David, and Ricky. Here is Ozzie, who plays the part of Ozzie Nelson. And, of course, his lovely wife, Harriet, as Harriet Nelson. The older of the Nelson boys, David, appears as David Nelson. And his younger brother, the irrepressible Ricky, played by Ricky Nelson. The Nelsons' next-door neighbor, Thorny, is played by Don DeFore.
Well, hello there, little man.
Well, hi. Thought you were down at the Y.
I was, but just for a couple of minutes. I had my official height and weight recorded. But you can't guess how much I weigh.
I bet you I don't care either.
No, go ahead, take a guess. How much do you think I weigh?
Well, about 10 pounds less than you claim.
I weigh 167 pounds of solid muscle.
A little flabby to me.
You mean flabby? You're just jealous because you're so skinny.
We just happen to be different types, that's all. I'm the tall, slim type. You're the short, fat type.
What do you mean, short, fat type? I bet I'll be 6 feet before the year's out. I'm 5'10" now.
You are not.
I just got through measuring, dopey. It's my official height. You can go down the Y and ask him if you want.
I bet you I'm about 5'7" or 8.
About 5'2" to me.
Oh, yeah? Well, what do you want? I'm almost 4 years younger than you.
Excuses, always excuses.
Oh, yeah? Have you seen that mark on the wall upstairs? I've grown almost 4 inches in the past year. Let's see. 4 years to go. It's 4 times 4. I think I'll have a talk with the basketball coach.
Come on over here and help me mark this, will you?
To you. Well, you sure got a flat head.
Never mind the comments, just mark it. See what I tell you, 5'10".
I still say you got a flat head.
You should talk with that watermelon head you got.
I can't help that. I inherited it from Pop.
What's this about Pop? Ricky says you got a head like a watermelon, Pop.
I did not. Don't you believe that?
Well, it's not true anyway. A cassava melon maybe, but not a watermelon.
Hey, Pop, take a look at this. I'm 5'10" now.
Hey, how about that? YMCA, David Nelson. Height 5'10", weight 167, and your father needs glasses. Good for you, that's fine, Dave.
Come here, David. You mark me now.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Don't mess up your mother's kitchen, huh? If you want to mark up the walls, go up to your bedroom, huh?
Okay, come on.
And don't mark on the wallpaper.
Hi, Oz.
Oh, hi, Thorny.
Hey, what's the matter? Harriet catch you stealing cookies?
No. David marked his height on the wall there, and I was just comparing myself to it.
Afraid he's outgrown the old man, huh?
Well, it's possible. He really has been shooting up the last month or so. See how my height compares to his, will you?
Just about even.
No kidding. Try it again.
Oh, well, now that's different.
Well,
David's just a little bit taller.
kidding. How about that?
Kind of a rude awakening, isn't it?
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. As a matter of fact, it's a pretty proud moment. After all, he is my own son, you know.
Well, what do you say we celebrate the occasion? A cookie for you,
Oh.
a cookie for me.
Well, thank you.
And here, old pal, is one to grow on. Yeah, the kids sure are growing. You know, it won't be too long before my boy Will catches up with me. Then I'm out on an expensive dinner.
Well, how come?
Well, you remember the talk we had with the boys when they were little kids?
Well, what talk was that?
Oh, Oz, you remember, about 9 or 10 years ago. We were out on the lawn talking to the boys about growing up. I promised Will I'd take him to the finest restaurant in town the day he became taller than I am.
Oh, yes. Seems to me I do remember something like that. Well, you always were one for making rash promises.
Yeah.
Say, I didn't promise David anything, did I?
Sure, $50.
$50? No, that's ridiculous. I vaguely remember the conversation. It was probably 50 cents.
$50, Oz. I distinctly remember it.
Thorny, nobody can remember that far back, especially David. I mean, even if I did say such a thing jokingly, which I'm not admitting, promise like that is made without consideration. It's what you might call a loose statement.
Oh, come on now, Oz. Anytime you talk about giving away $50, it isn't loose.
Thorny, be reasonable, will you? David was about 8 years old at the time. What would an 8-year-old boy do with $50?
Oz, let me remind you that David is no longer 8 years old.
I didn't say he was. I said he was 50. I mean, look, what's the sense of digging up a long-forgotten conversation? Not even a conversation. A man says something jokingly. You don't hold people to things like that. How often have you heard somebody say, I'll bet you $1 million, or I could throw that ball a mile?
Go on, Oz.
Well, besides, David probably doesn't remember anything about it. In fact, you're the only one who seems to remember. Here, have another cookie.
Do you want me to remind David about it?
Tony, I don't mean to sound rude, but frankly, I don't see where this whole thing interests you in the first place.
You're going to remind David about it.
I'll pay David any money that's due him, yes.
Oz, now, I hate to be persistent about this, but I happen to be a very honest person. Now, maybe that's what's wrong with me. I'm too honest, but that's the way I am. Now, I'd like a direct answer, yes or no. Are you going to pay David the $50?
Yes, I'm going to pay him the $50. And stop stealing those cookies, Thorny. Those are our cookies. They're not yours.
Hey, that looks nice, Dave.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I'm afraid it needs a new paint job, though.
Oh, really? Doesn't look to me like it needs a new paint job.
Yeah, well, Susan and I were talking about it the other night, and you know Susan, don't you? She's that girl I took to the house party.
Oh, yes.
You know, we decided it's kind of dull, sort of drab and uninteresting.
Oh, what color did she suggest? A baby blue or a mysterious vampire black?
No, she thinks dark colors are impractical. They fade and show the dirt.
Oh, well, she sounds like a very sensible girl. What color did she suggest?
A heliotrope.
Heliotrope?
Well, just plain heliotrope.
Well, that's sort of a lavender.
Oh, no, Mom, it's kind of a pinkish purple. It's the latest thing. I've heard about a lot of new Cadillacs that have it.
Well, I guess the subject's purely academic. You don't have the money for a new paint job, do you?
Well, I don't right now, Mom, but I'm expecting to come in some money any day now.
Oh, how come?
Well, you see, a long time ago, Pop promised me $50 the day I outgrew him. I think that day's arrived.
$50? Wow.
Yep. I think I'm about a quarter-inch taller than he is right now.
Well, that'll be quite a windfall if your father comes through.
Oh, don't worry about Pop coming through. He always keeps his promises.
You don't think he might have forgotten about it?
Oh, not Pop, Mom. He's got a terrific memory.
Well, yeah.
Oh, sure, Mom. Pop never forgets anything. Oh, Mom?
Yes, dear?
Just to make sure, you want to kind of remind him about it?
Hello? Yes, Thorny, I'm writing it right now.
Hi, Pop.
Oh, hi, son. You're just the one I'm looking for. Sit down for a second.
Yes, sir?
Tell me this. Do you think you could remember something that happened, say, 8 or 10 years ago?
Gee, I don't think so, Pa. I was pretty young then.
No, that's what I figured. And David probably couldn't remember either, huh?
You mean my brother, David? Oh, he's got a terrible memory. He can't remember anything, especially lately.
Oh, really?
The only thing he can remember is the $50 you owe him. Say, that reminds me. Could I have my allowance, Pa?
Oh, Rick, there are other things in life besides money, you know.
But isn't this the day for my allowance?
Well, yes, it is, but, I mean, just because a person happens to owe you a couple of dollars, you don't keep dunning them for it all the time.
What's this, about a couple of dollars?
The line forms on the left here, Harriet.
Don't ask any questions, Mom. Just take it and run. Thanks. What you got your checkbook out for?
It's just about some silly little promise I made David years ago. Not one person in a million would have remembered it.
You mean about the $50 for growing taller than you?
You'd think somebody would have forgotten it.
David told me about it just now. He's planning on using the money to paint his car. Heliotrope.
Heliotrope? Well, that's a terrible color, isn't it, Harriet? I mean, I think maybe it's my duty as a parent not to give him the $50. Well, no, I mean, don't misunderstand me, Harriet, but, well, in the first place, how do I know David's taller than I am?
You could measure.
We did. I mean, well, how accurate is a chalk mark on the wall? No, I think, in fairness to all concerned, especially since his car is involved, we should leave the whole thing in abeyance, at least until we get a chance to measure individually and accurately.
Where are you going?
Just out of the kitchen. I want to wipe the mark off the kitchen wall.
Hi, Shorty.
Hi, Thorny.
You pay David the $50 yet?
No, I didn't. See, it hasn't actually been established that David's taller than I am yet. I mean, we haven't had any official measurements together.
Oh.
Besides, I don't understand your big interest in this case anyway.
Well, I just want to make sure the kid gets a square deal, that's all. And I think you ought to know that I'm volunteering my services to Ricky, too, when the time comes around.
You may be interested to know what David intends to do with the money.
Oh, now, Oz, I want you to tell the boy I couldn't accept 1 penny of it. How much is he offering me?
Nothing, as far as I've heard. He's going to blow the whole thing in on a new paint job for his car.
Well, that sounds like a sensible idea to me.
Not when you hear about the color.
Oh, what color is he going to paint it?
Heliotrope.
I just asked a question, Oz. You don't have to get nasty about it.
Heliotrope is a color, sort of a pinkish lavender. Evidently, this is the latest fad, according to the hot rod fashion editors. Well, I'll talk about it later, Thorny.
Well, wait a minute, Oz. What's your hurry?
I've got to go downtown.
After all, it is David's car and his money.
It may be his car, but it's still my money. And look, Thorny, there's something else you don't seem to realize. It won't be long before your boy Will is as tall as you are.
Yeah, I know. He's almost there now.
Sure. He'll expect you to pay him $50.
Why should I give him $50?
You mean you're going to weasel out of it?
Weasel out of it? I only promised Will a dinner.
Do you think he's going to be satisfied with a measly dinner when he finds out David got $50? He's going to figure you for just what you are, a big tightwad. Well, I'll see you, Thorny.
Now, wait a minute, Oz. We got to do something about this.
Well, I'm on my way down to Doc Williams' office right now.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I think I'll go with you. I don't feel so good myself.
No, you see, Dave came home from the YMCA with one of those official cards, giving his height as 5 feet 10. I want Doc to measure me and make my height official.
Maybe he'll throw a couple inches your way. Don't forget he's got a 12-year-old son.
Well, yeah, but he's taller than Doc already.
Say, why don't you stop by the Emporium and get yourself a pair of elevator shoes?
No. Besides, Doc always measures people with their shoes off.
Well, then get a pair of elevator socks. Look, Oz, you got to stall this thing off for the good of the entire neighborhood.
Don't get so worried about it, Thorny. In the first place, I think I still have about a ½ inch on David. You don't suppose Doc's going to want me to go through a complete physical checkup when I get down there, do you?
Well, tell him you just want to use the scales. Walk in and step up on them, see how tall you are, and leave.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Gee, I wonder how much it's going to cost me.
That all depends on how tall you are. Okay, Oz. Good luck.
Thanks.
I see. How tall are you supposed to be?
Oh, about 5'10" and a half, 5'10" and a quarter, somewhere right in there.
That sounds bad.
Well, no, that still makes me taller than he.
Well, it's a strange thing, Oz. You take just about any guy you know and ask him to tell you how tall he is, and then measure him, and you'll find he's about a ½ inch shorter than he thinks he is.
Oh, that's your experience, huh?
That's right. And about 5 pounds fatter.
Well, I wasn't interested in the fat part. I just wanted to find out about my height and have you make it official and medical.
Well, okay, Oz. Just stand over there against the wall. I think I got a piece of chalk here somewhere.
Well, no, I can do that at home myself. Don't you have one of those where we can make this official?
Oh, well, okay, Oz. Let's go into the other office. Oh, boy. Makes it a tough day when you've been up all night.
Well, I know how hard you doctors work.
Take off your shoes, Oz. You know, there's another thing. People have a tendency to get a little shorter as they grow older. Sometimes they'll lose as much as an inch in, say, 20 or 25 years.
Oh, really? Well, I know I was 5'10" and a half when I was in college, or 5'10" and a quarter at the very least.
Well, now you take me, for instance. I measured myself the other day, and I was 5'9". I was a little taller than that when I was in medical school.
How tall were you then?
6 feet 1.
6 feet 1.
I had very bushy hair in those days.
Well, let's make this official.
There we are. Well, that's exactly 5 feet 9 3/4.
5'9", and are you sure?
You want me to call in a specialist for consultation?
No, well, how could... I was sure... Well, gee, Dave is 5'10". That means he's got me by 1/4 inch.
Well, that's the way it goes, Oz. I wouldn't worry about it. Oh, boy, I'm going to get a little nap before the next patient comes in. I had a miserable night last night.
Oh, well, that's just... Well, I don't know how you doctors do it anyway. Up all night and then up the next day.
Well, I left the Dipples' house at 5 o'clock this morning, and I was in here at the office at 9.
Oh, who's sick at the Dipples?
Oh, nobody's sick. Wally Dipple had a little poker party going.
Oh! I thought maybe you were making a house call. You say you had some bad luck, huh?
Yeah, I lost $6.
Oh, well, that's the way it goes. Well, thanks a lot, Doc. And, how much do I owe you?
Oh, make it $6.
Hi, what are you looking for?
Oh, I was looking for the chafing dish. I thought we'd have some cream chicken tonight.
Cream chicken? Harriet, I don't need to get fatter. I need to get taller.
Here, hold the teapot for me.
You didn't listen to me. I was down at Doc Williams' office, and he measured me.
Oh, how tall are you?
5 feet 9 3/4 inches and $50. Make that $56.
Well, looks like we're the proud parents of a boy with a heliotrope automobile. Oh, will you get me the burner for the chafing dish? It's down there on the bottom shelf. Are you all right, dear?
Was that a flying saucer?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I accidentally dropped the chafing dish. Are you hurt?
I can't tell till I get my head straightened out.
Shame, I'm so sorry. Here, I'll get a cold rag. That'll take the swelling down.
No, wait a minute, Harriet. This is just what I need.
What's just what you need?
This lump on my head. This is wonderful.
Oh, you better lie down, dear. You sound a little punchy.
No. This has added about a ½ inch to my height, and it's still swelling. This is a real stroke of luck.
What's all the noise about, Pop?
Oh, Dave, you're just the one I'm looking for. I understand you'd like to measure and see whether you've won the $50 yet.
Yeah, sure, Pop.
Okay, take off your shoes.
I don't know. This doesn't seem quite fair to me.
Well, sure it is, Mom. If David's taller than Pop, he wins the $50.
Well, that isn't quite what I mean. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid your father's just a little taller than you are.
Gee, and I was sure I had him.
Well, that's too bad, son. My height fools a lot of people. See, I have a rather odd-shaped head. It's an old Nelson characteristic.
Oh, I'm a Nelson. How come I haven't got it?
I think he got an odd-shaped head.
Nobody asked you.
Well, better luck next time, Dave.
Gee, and I practically had the $50 spent, too.
Well, at the rate you're growing, I think you'll have it won in a couple of months.
In a couple of days, if your father will stay out of the kitchen.
Come on, Ricky, let's go outside.
I don't know whether I want to associate with a little runt like you.
This is kind of a painful way to win, wasn't it?
How's your head feel?
Well, not too bad. Sort of a dirty trick to play on Dave, but I think it's for his own good.
I hope he isn't too disappointed, though.
Oh, I don't think so. After all, he is going to win the money eventually. In fact, as soon as the lump on my head goes down. I just hope heliotrope hot rods are out of style by then.
I thought baseball didn't start till spring.
Well, that's right.
Well, what do you suppose the boys are doing out there in the yard?
Well, come on, will you?
No, I can't do it. You're my brother, my own flesh and blood.
You don't have to hit me very hard, just hard enough to raise a small bump. Oh, hi, Pop.
Oh, hi, son.
Gee, thanks again for giving me the money ahead of time.
Oh, that's all right. Judging by the way this bump on my head is going down, you'd have had it won by tomorrow anyway.
I was just down in the garage checking with Mr. O'Brien to see how much he charged me to paint my car.
Oh, yes, I understand you're thinking of having your car painted. Your mother mentioned something about heliotrope.
No, I changed my mind. That color would look okay on big cars, but look pretty silly on mine.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear you say that. I was kind of worried there for a while, but I knew after you thought it over you'd reach the right decision.
Well, the color I'm going to have it painted is the latest thing. It's a little more expensive, though, because you need special equipment for the job.
Oh, what color is that?
Oh, it's a real special deal. They call it leopard skin.